This is Dark Macek with Brutally Delicious, coming at you with a review of Stryper's brand new album, The Final Battle. So I will confess that as a wayward, annoyingly petulant teenager, I rejected Stryper before I'd ever heard a single song simply because they were religious. A few weeks ago, I decided to listen to Hell with the Devil, and wow, was I impressed. I had never heard that their songwriting was this strong, and I certainly never knew that Michael Sweet was this motherfucking great of a singer. So naturally, I wanted to hear their new stuff, and boy, it did not disappoint. Let's start off with the opening track, Transgressor. Holy shit, these vocals are fucking great. What a monster guitar solo. It is so much heavier than I would ever have imagined them being. I mean, seriously, I don't know if I'd call this thrash per se, but it's definitely as heavy overall. Again, maybe I'm just some heathen asshole, but I would never have expected this coming out of a Christian band. Live and learn, I guess. All throughout, I would say that there is fairly clever songwriting, and for a band that's almost 40 years into their career, that's quite a compliment. I'm sort of reminded of a Winger album released, I think, 2013 with the song Rat Race. It just sounded like a band that at one point was very glam and chasing trends that just matured into a nice rock band. In short, just very respectable and doesn't need any kind of qualification of it's good for a band from 40 years ago. One I specifically want to call out is the song Near. This was a great ballad. Now, when I listened to Hell with the Devil a few weeks ago, I will say their ballads, Honestly and Calling to You, I think it's called, were bigger standouts than the bangers. And I think this album, minus the opening track, which is by far the best, sort of holds that, because Near is just phenomenal. Moving on a bit more, Rise to the Call is a fucking banger. If you'd showed this to me and asked me who I thought it was, I would have said some German power metal outfit. This is a band that's formed in the 80s? So fucking heavy. It's great. Till Death Do Us Part is another fucking great chorus. So I would call out those last four as the real highlights on the album. I'm still fairly new to Stryper, but jumping from what is widely considered their best album to their newest, I was not disappointed. I didn't have to be some longtime fan that had their style unlocked. I guess that's my way of saying they've still got it and the songwriting is there. And wow, Michael Sweet is a really underrated vocalist. Kick-ass job, guys. Looking forward to whenever the tour is. Rock on.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.